What's going on, everybody? Today is Wednesday, September 4th. You are listening to episode 2 of Picks and Parlays. There is a fourth face on that logo. We have the fourth mic here today, Mr. Corey T.
Going on.
And you actually I forgot about this. You fucked the parlay this week. We had a
I
four-legger.
did, yes. Yeah, that
Even
was
though
on
I
me.
said I liked the pick too.
Yeah,
We
no, that
had a
was me. That was
four-legger.
bad.
A&M fucked the parlay. Notre Dame's essentially in the playoff now. I forgot we need to build a parlay for. Fuck, I'll put it. I'm gonna make a graphic for the picks later. And we'll make a little parlay and toss it on there.
I even, to make it worse, twist a knife. I cashed out on a Notre Dame money line parlay that I was already 4-6 of the way through, so that I could team ride A&M. Felt horrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I made like $3 on it because the other ones were because I picked Boston College. Actually, the fifth leg was Boston College to cover, Monday night. But yeah, it's a tough one.
In my defense, I was told Connor Wegman was
It was
good.
good.
Yeah,
He
he
fucking horrible.
stinks out
He
loud.
sucks. Oh, dude, everybody's acting like Notre Dame's great. I
Literally
think
puked
they're
all over
so bad.
himself.
Yeah,
I
what?
mean, I think Notre Dame, there's no reason why they probably shouldn't win at least 11 games this year. I mean, their toughest
Oh,
remaining game is
yeah.
USC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Who
the only
knows
other
what
game
And
they
they
USC
play.
can
is going to look like for
and
that
they
game.
can lose that and make it.
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
only other game they
yeah.
play. I mean, they have Florida State and they have, well, I don't know. Is Georgia Tech gonna be sneaky? But like, yeah, that's it. They're cakewalk to the chip or to the playoff, um, which is terrible. And I think there's a lot of like ranked teams up there that when the polls came out, like I thought Oregon looked horrible. Obviously, they're
I
in
bet them to
a
cover like 47.
yeah. I
I
want to pull
think
them up like
I think my big takeaway, honestly, from this weekend was I think we all kind of had it in the back of our heads that it is kind of the Big Ten and the SEC and everyone else. And then it felt like a lot of games this past weekend kind of reinforced that. You know, even like Vanderbilt upsetting Virginia Tech, right? Like Penn State handled West Virginia pretty easily. Um, I mean, like Ohio State looked pretty, they came out a little slow, but they looked really good. You know, I think that it's just two different levels right now. And like you had a team like Colorado barely squeaking out against an FCS team for the Big 12. I think that the Big 12 and the ACC right now are just on a lesser tier. I think even teams like Miami, I'm not big on. So, um, remains to be seen. But I think these non conference games these next 2 weeks as well are further going to reiterate that.
They fucking
what?
smoked Florida
Yeah.
though.
I
Yeah,
think I'm not huge on Miami, because I don't think Florida's a top, I don't know, what, 12 SEC team
They're going to have
this
four
year.
wins this year.
Yeah, they're terrible, but
Yeah.
they were the only team outside of the Big Ten and SEC that did something impressive other than Notre Dame, maybe. Like going into the swamp and coming out with a win is something, at
Yeah.
least.
yeah.
But
Especially in the way
Clemson
they
looked
did it,
Yeah,
dapping up all of
yeah,
their recruits.
yeah.
FSU Florida to end the year this year, it's like going
It's
to be
gonna
a
be
toxic
gross.
waste dump.
Ugh, it's
Oh,
two just
That might be a like
insane
if
fan bases of teams that just suck this year.
yeah, if you watch that game, you're on a pervert registry. I think you
Yeah.
have to be.
I have two takes. The Shador stuff that Mags was talking about, in Colorado. It's not his fault that his defense is just atrocious, and it's probably never going to get better because, like, why, if you're a solid defensive player, why would you go to Colorado? But, like, they're saying he put up video game numbers, and, like, there's people saying that him and Travis Hunter should be considered for the 1-1 pick in the draft, and that, like, they should definitely be the top two in Heisman polls. It's like, Travis Hunter is more of a position for that, I'd say, because Shador has to play the whole fucking game. Like, yeah, of course he throws for 400 yards. He scored, what was it, like, scored 40 some points, like, each team. And they're playing down to the wire the whole time. Like, you're going to throw up video game numbers like that. And I'm no Penn State bias, but Drew Aller had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns or whatever at half. and we just park the buses. So like that kind of stuff is happening because we're handling also a Power 5 school, Power 4, whatever we want to call them now. And I think Clemson is just a a little bit better version of Florida State. I think that everybody thinks they're good, and I think they're gonna fucking blow this year too. I know Georgia's tough,
I think
but
that
Yeah, the ACC is so bad.
I
yeah,
think the issue with Clemson, the transfer portal stuff obviously isn't ideal when it comes to Dabo Swinney and Clemson, but Michigan just won a national championship without any of their top guys being transfer portal guys, right? Like they kind of built that
yeah,
from within. I think you can still do that in college football. I think the depth part is where you can get people from the transfer portal. I just think that missing on quarterbacks, 5-star recruit quarterbacks for this long for any program. Like Texas went through this in the like mid 2000 or late 2000s, 2010s, and they're finally back now because they finally have that quarterback. But when you miss on these top quarterback recruits, it really sets your program back 5, 6 years because you're just kind of sent back to the dark ages. And I think that's what's happening to Clemson right now. And I mean, that's probably what's going to happen to Florida State here with DJ Ukulele. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Florida State's in big trouble. Not like they look bad
can
and
I
soft,
can I declare
and
them my graveyard team?
go for it.
Yeah. So
I
what?
got one
Okay,
too.
can we clarify? So is the graveyard? Is it you're definitely not making the playoff? Is that the
Yeah, but obviously, as for everything else, there's always a potential to Undertaker resurrect Undertaker style. If
okay?
I'm wrong, but there's no way I'm wrong about that. There's absolutely
I
no chance.
I
They're going
feel
to be
bad that we
horrible.
didn't talk about Florida State last week because Mags and Eric, you guys were both telling me like over text that like you didn't even like them week one, then they lost, so
Yeah,
kind of missed the boat on it. Didn't talk about it, and then you guys were still on it, and then they fucking lost again. I
yeah.
was like, oh my fucking god.
I
I have
thought,
a I have a potential graveyard pick here coming in. They aren't in the graveyard yet, but I think that we're fast tracking to the graveyard here, and I think it's a hot take here. Michigan looked bad against
Michigan.
Fresno State.
ooh,
They had 89 yards of offense in the first half. They have no idea what's happening at quarterback, and they are staring down a schedule that includes, they're playing Texas this week. They obviously have to play Ohio State at the end of the year. I think they have Wisconsin on that schedule too. They miss
I don't
Penn
think so.
State. They don't have Wisconsin either.
No.
Nope. All right. Well, never mind. Hand up. Um, I just think that playing in the Big Ten, like you kind of have to have your shit together, and Michigan does not. Um, I don't know. Could get
I
messy
don't hate
quick.
that.
I feel like they have
I
a lot
don't
of
hate that.
talent there, but I don't know. There you need a good quarterback,
I
and
wish
they
we played them so bad.
what's
Corey,
that?
who's you?
What's that? My graveyard. Oh, Florida. They're cooked. They're done. They're nothing until that coach leaves. I can't even think of his name right now. I
Billy
forget it.
Napier.
Napier.
He's
How do
Napier.
you
He's
fire Dan
horrible.
Mullen when this guy is your next
Yeah,
choice?
I don't get it. He's horrible. He wasn't even like when they hired him, it was kind of like, yeah. But he hasn't really been able to recruit great. Like they haven't won big games. They can't. Maybe they'll like get up for a game at the Swamp like once a year. But like, what's 6, 7 wins do for you at Florida? Not nothing. They get you out of a job, massive
Yeah.
buyout. That'll be sick. But like, I don't think he's it. I don't think they have it. I think they're done this year. Maybe win 4 or 5 games, but their schedule's brutal too. But I don't think even next year, like I don't until that guy's gone, I really don't see them heading anywhere.
Yeah. I'm glad nobody took mine. My graveyard team's LSU. I think every year there's always a sneaky like LSU hotbed for talent. They always have a great recruiting class. Like, is LSU gonna pop this year? And I feel like last year they lost to a Florida State team early that went undefeated. Like they always lose early and then they go on like an 8 or 9 game. They win like 8 of 9 or something, or like 9 of 10 or something like that. And then everybody's like, "Ooh, LSU sneaky team," but they like always lost the beginning. And I think USC is fine. They'll probably finish the year ranked. I don't think they're a playoff team. And I also just fucking hate Brian Kelly.
Yeah, there's obviously stuff
Yeah, I don't
behind the
think they're very
scenes
good.
for him to do that, like to blow up week one that
Yeah.
way. about that, about like them acting like they won. Like he's like, I tell him all the time, whatever. It's fucking week one. It's week
Yeah,
one.
and they I don't know. They're just what Notre Dame used to be.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I get
Yep.
the move. I get the move to LSU because obviously your ceiling is probably higher. You're more likely to win a national title if you're very competitive. If you're one of the two or three best teams in the SEC, but like also just fucking stay at Notre Dame and join the fucking Big Ten already. And then they would have just
Mhm.
been they would have been fine. Like it's a team
Yep.
with prestige and like I get that they're like higher academic like standards or whatever. Like not every fucking Division One football player is dumb as shit. Like they could get fine people like that meet the academic standards or whatever at Notre Dame to fucking go there. They went to the national title game like 10 years ago or something like
You're
that.
telling
And
me
it's
that who was the quarterback? I'm blanking on his name right now. That went to the Browns from Notre Dame. You're telling me that guy was intelligent?
Brady
Um,
Quinn.
no. Well, I mean he did, but
Deshaun Kaiser,
Deshaun
is that who you're
Kaiser.
talking about?
Kaiser,
Um.
yeah, that guy
Exact.
was talking like AB before he got in the league.
That
But
is true.
um, sneaky in the graveyard. I'm throwing Texas A&M in there too, which I mean, it's hard when you come in. You have like a Heisman hopeful quarterback, and he's that horrific. So just wanted
He
to
was so
sneak them in
bad.
there because it's a little bit more bold than Florida State. But
He was like watching a Kenny Pickett like Steelers game where like if you just make like two throws,
yeah,
we're right in it, and he just couldn't fucking do it.
mm-mm.
All right. Is it time to do some NFL picks here, boys? Bet the
So
slate for week
Let's
one.
do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's get into some picks. This is going to be picking the entire NFL slate. We're going to do this every week. So we are going to have a season long kind of contest between the four of us. And this is my little surprise for you guys here. I think we need a punishment. I mentioned this briefly at the end last time. I have an idea for a punishment. I'm thinking of a half marathon of the 6/12/1824
Oh Jesus Christ!
where it's a 3/6/9/12
Okay.
of for the uninitiated donuts eaten, beers drank, miles run or walked, I guess, and then jerk offs obviously.
So you save the jerk off for 12, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can lock that in.
Just
Just a
thinking of it.
Sunday afternoon, baby.
Oh yeah, think of it like quarters in a calendar year for business. So Q1, I got to get 3 wanks off.
You
Then I
know,
can have
meet your
Lexi come in
quotas.
as my boss. Say Q3, you're only at 7. You need to
Yeah, is that cheating
bring it home.
if you have assistants, or does it have to be jerks?
I feel like it should have to be jerk.
Yeah,
Has to be
Yeah,
jerks.
yeah.
To
No
be
because you
assistance.
can't. Yeah, you can't get lost in the other activities going on. You have to think about it when it starts to not be fun anymore.
Yep.
That like it's your punishment.
You
Yep.
got to power. Yeah, this is what it's all about. Does that make that a unanimous yes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
feel like I
Yeah.
heard
Oh
no
yeah.
detractors. Okay, all right. So that's what we're playing for. If at any point you're thinking of quitting or just mailing it in, just know you got a slate full of jerk offs. You're wasting an entire day jerking off at some point. Okay, but let's get into some picks. We've got 16 games. We got fucking 16 games, boys.
Oh my
Let's
god.
Fuck yeah,
fucking go.
baby.
Um, all right, let's start with the Thursday night game. This is Ravens +3 at the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Over under 47.5. Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this game at different times of the day, potentially taking every part of this. Um, so what I landed on is I'm going to take the over at 47.5. I know Thursday night's not great for that necessarily, but I mean, Chiefs Ravens opening the season, why not root for the points? So if not for anything, it's just for a good night of football.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at this line. I haven't looked at it nearly as much, but I feel like Chiefs -3 here is the play. Lamar Jackson literally shits himself in big games. So no need to overthink this one. They're reigning Super Bowl champs for a reason.
Yeah, I
Last
like that.
weekend last year.
I'm on Chiefs -3 as well, I think. There's not like I also don't like the Ravens, so I'm just not gonna bet on them. And it's week 1, so that's as good as anything I can come up with. So yeah, Chiefs -3.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it 3 out of 4. I also have Chiefs -3. The Chiefs fucking hate covering, but it's only 3 points, and fuck the Ravens. I'm a little lower on the Ravens than everybody else, so too low of a number to bet against Mahomes. I'm also on the Chiefs. Friday night. So this is the Brazil game, the gang violence game. This is Packers plus 2.5 at Eagles over under 49.5.
What did
Eric,
you say this? I had Bears at -4.5.
this is
Oh,
Packers
sorry.
and
I'm going down the
Packers and
wrong one.
Eagles,
Yeah,
Cosmo.
sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna do this so you can chop it up and post.
That'll
So
happen.
this one, yeah, I was looking straight to the Bears. I actually have the Packers plus 2.5 here. I am an Eagles hater, same thing in the Ravens and Corey. I'm not gonna bet on them. I lived in Philly and was just, torched all the time with these guys, so not a fan. Packers 2.5. I like Jordan Love.
Yeah, so I think my advice would be don't bet anything on this game. I think any international games stay away at all costs. That being said, I kind of like the Eagles -2.5 here. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Packers plus 2.5. And I just feel like these bets that screw over the public, sometimes it's good to zag when everyone zigs. So I'm looking at the Eagles -2.5 here. All vibes.
Yeah, I also don't like the Eagles. I don't like spending my money on them. I don't really like this game at all. It kind of just sucks. It's in Brazil. Um, I don't know. I guess I'll bet on it because it's Friday night and there's nothing else going on. But I guess I like the under. The bet that's a lot of points,
It is a lot of
and
points.
it's a lot of points week
And
1.
leave
I
every
don't think.
code.
Yeah, I don't think either like offense is that crazy good. Jalen Hurts is just an AJ Brown merchant. Um, so yeah, I'll take the under.
And
I
Kelsey
really,
Mitch, you can't do anymore.
Yeah.
I really hope that cricket doesn't show up in the audio. It's so loud.
Let's close this window next week.
um, I I'm on the Packers plus 2.5. I'm actually pretty high on the Packers this year. And I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I don't believe in Nick Sirianni. I also hate the Eagles. But I'm also pro Packers. I think they have a nice little young receiving core growing together. They got veteran Josh Jacobs, who's not flashy, but he's pretty above average at everything. So I think there'll be some consistency there. I like the Packers. I like the Packers to do a whole lot more than just win this game. I think they're going to win outright, though.
Yeah,
It's not even really an away game. It's at the Eagles, but it's in fucking Brazil. So, well,
yeah.
it is an away
That's
game, but it's not a home game for the Eagles. That's
Yeah.
what I
a
mean.
far, far away game. Um,
Absolutely an away game.
the only thing
Uh,
that breaks my heart is that it's hard. I want to root for Saquon this whole year, but like if he ran for 300 yards and they still lost every game, it'd be pretty sick.
yeah,
Yeah.
what if Saquon goes into the Hall of Fame as an Eagle? Do you take it?
Yeah,
We'll do that.
No,
To
not
go
really.
into the
Not in
NFL
the
Hall of Fame
NFL.
with anyone?
Not really, but just for the
yeah. No, I
goes
would.
into
I
the Hall of
just
Fame and all of his highlights are Eagles highlights.
so Shady is one of my favorite players of all time. Unfortunately, I mean, you only think of. Well, I guess I feel like he's sneaky like Albert Pujols. Like I think of him as a Cardinal, but he was an Angel for significantly longer, right? So it's. I feel like I kind of think of Sean McCoy like that, but um, yeah. I mean, I can get past it if he doesn't bring him another ring,
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. Sunday slate. Sunday, 1 p.m. This is disgusting. Titans plus 4.5 at the Bears in Soldier Field. Over under is 44.5. Eric.
Oh.
I got Bears -4.5. I don't know, new offense. pretty much everybody. Pretty good defense, really good secondary. Uh, don't really believe in Will Levis unless he can get it rolling with his feet a little bit, bring some electricity. But yeah, I like the Bears to cover here.
Yeah, I'm going against Eric again on this one. I think 4.5 is a lot of points for a rookie quarterback to cover. I think there are a lot of expectations in Chicago. I think they should still win that game, but I think it'll be somewhat close. And I especially think because Tennessee's going to be coming out with that new head coach wanting to prove something that they'll come out with a lot of juice. So I'm going Tennessee plus 4.5.
Eric, your head-to-head idea, it should just be you against Mags.
I know it should, but you need that because I think he described zagging against by taking the Eagles against Packers, but I feel like the zag is the Packers pick. I don't know, so I think we got a good little
All over the Packers.
yeah, more of the money.
Yeah, this game's fucking gross. I hate every part of it. I don't like anything. I don't like anything about this game. So I'd normally just take the points, but I'm not gonna do that because then I'd usually lose. So I'm just gonna take the Bears minus 4.5 and just fucking deal with it.
That's essentially my logic for something later, but also like the Bears could be immediately better with Caleb Williams. The defense
Yeah,
is
I
already
think
good,
they
but
could. There's a chance they're better more than there's a chance that the Titans are better than what they were.
yeah, I'm also on Bears minus 4.5. I'm really just fading the Titans because like Vrabel's gone. Have you guys seen what Brian Callahan looks like? He's such a fucking nerd. Pull up a picture of him right now. He looks like such a fucking nerd. But yeah, like the roster is just fucking puke all over yourself. Fucking disgusting. Like
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
like it at all.
their best offensive player is either DeAndre Hopkins at this age or like Tony Pollard. I think it's Tajay Spears actually, um, but I think like the Vrabel Titans were always a fun bet. But I think I might just fade the fuck out of the Titans every single
It
game this
almost
year.
it almost
Yeah, I
sounds like
agree.
as far as like the dude off situation of like the Cardinals from was it last year, 2 years ago? They're the worst roster. It's
Yeah,
just you don't. There's nobody that you'd be pumped about having on your fantasy team. I mean, D Hop's fun, and like he's one of the best receivers in our generation of watching football, but he isn't what he was, especially there.
Yeah.
yeah. Cardinals D Hop is low key was sick.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, here's one for three out of the four of us here. Steelers plus 3.5 at the Falcons. The over under is 42.5.
Because I wanted tensions to remain
Fuck you.
good. I'm high on the Falcons coming into the season, but I'm gonna take Steel Curtain under 42.5. I think that like the Falcons will get their trying to get their feet under them. I mean, new quarterback, new system, and everything, and then Steelers defense is always rigid, so I like under 42.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on under 42.5. These two teams were, I think, the two of the top seven lowest scoring teams in the NFL last year. I was looking at it earlier, and I mean, you're betting on Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins on one ACL to score a combined 43 points.
Hey,
That
it's an
just
Achilles. It's an Achilles.
Achilles and ACL, they're all the same thing. It's ruptured anyway. So, I mean, yeah, just for your sanity, just take the under.
Oh, I like the Steelers and the points here. I don't think it gets outside of 3.5. I don't know about the money line. I think I like the Steelers this year. I think they're going to be good. They kept a lot of games close last year with Kenny Pickett and fucking Mason Rudolph, so I don't see why they can't do that now.
I'm just like, this is why Corey and I always betting together is like the best thing because I'm also on Steelers. I think we've picked like the same thing every game. I'm also on the Steelers plus 3.5. Like, I'm just going to fucking ride with my team. I actually think the Falcons are good. Well, I don't know if I think they're good. I think they're going to win the South. And I don't know if they're like the hottest ugly girl or if they're like I don't fucking know. I think they could be good, but I don't know if they're good. This will be the litmus test. The Steelers are a very average team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this is the one here.
Pitts is hurt.
Yeah,
If that really matters.
generational. He's
Generational
generational.
talent, Pitts.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna win if the generational tight end is out.
Producer.
All right, up next, Jags plus 3.5 at Dolphins, over under 48.5. I think it's over scooted up a bunch. Eric, the Dolphins fan, right? From our fandom to your
Yep.
fandom.
Fins minus 3.5. I don't even think it's bias. Trevor Lawrence super underwhelming. I think he's probably bottom half at this point, or at least like hovering around 13 to 18, somewhere in there. Um,
Where do you
I
have
think he has
Tua?
potential. I think he could get better, but I don't think he's like. I don't think he's going to go out and win the game. I also don't. I mean, I love our offense, but points in the first week always scares me. So minus 3.5.
Yeah, uh what did you have the total at in this game? I have it at 48.5.
48.5, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't decided the angle I'm looking at here, and I think I want to take the under on that total. It's gonna be hot. It's
Yeah.
in Miami, early September. Like there's gonna be some tired legs out there, not in mid season form, cramping up in the humidity. No one wants to be out there playing. So I'm leaning under there.
Over under 3.5 times the broadcasting team mentions that the away team has the sun in their face.
Way over.
And fucking
It's gonna be over, but they're gonna say, well, they're from Jacksonville, so they don't care.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think. Oh, I was thinking about the under. But I'll just change it up. I'll go with the Jags plus 3.5. I think they were. I don't know how good they are. They were super disappointing last year. I think they got a lot to prove. Play with a little chip on their shoulder. Dougie P gets the boys going. I think they cover. I don't know that I think they win, but I think they cover. Keep it close. Week 1.
All right, I'm deviating, Corey, finally. I'm on Dolphins minus 3.5. I don't think the Jags are terrible. I think kind of what Eric was saying, I think they've almost stabilized as just a below average team with Trevor Lawrence. They're not a total Jags dumpster fire anymore. But I think the big thing is the Dolphins are like maybe the number one run it up in September team. And so I just like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins could win by like 10 plus in this game. So
Really healthy defense right now. So we'll see.
all right. Next game, Patriots plus 8.5 at Bengals, over under 40.5 points.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
like I
gross.
mentioned earlier, I think that the Patriots might be one of my graveyard teams. So I think I like the Bengals minus 8.5. I just think the Patriots are gonna be awful, and I think with the situation that they're in, they might as well start the rookie, and they're not gonna do that. So I think it's just gonna be a dumpster fire. I think I'd be shocked if they won 6 or 7 games this year. Bengals minus 8.5.
Yeah, I think so. Do we know if Jamar Chase is playing? Is he
He
holding out
I
practiced
still?
don't.
today for the first time.
He practiced today.
Mm-hmm. But I
Yeah, I
still am
mean,
scared he's not going to play.
yeah, I mean, we're talking about Joe Burrow going against a rookie, even if it's in Cincinnati. So I mean, yeah, rookie on the road in Cincinnati first game. I think I'd be a little weary about the new coach theory. I think teams like coming out hot for these new coaches, but I think just the talent on both sides of the ball for Cincinnati is so much higher than New England that it's going to get to blowout territory pretty quickly.
I don't. Is
Yeah, I
Drake May
agree.
playing? Sorry. Is
No, I think Brissett is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so
unless I
So
too.
missed
I thought
something.
Drake. That changes nothing. Jacoby
it's
Brissett's
only a
fine.
day ago.
Changes
It was
absolutely
only a
nothing.
day ago that I guess they maybe confirmed it or something, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just think the Bengals are so much better. I don't know how great I think their defense is. I think it's down a little bit from when they went to the Super Bowl, but I don't really think it matters here. It's a big spread, week 1 of NFL, which I don't really like, but I'm not losing money on the Patriots. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. Yeah, so Bengals 8.5. I'll take it. Whatever.
Yep, I'm also on Bengals minus 8.5. I feel like people have cooled off on them. I kind of like them to win the North, honestly, if the Steelers don't. Um, like I said, I'm low on the Ravens, but like everybody else kind of already said, the Patriots are a fucking tire fire. They're just like rookie coach with a terrible, terrible fucking roster on the road against like it's still fucking Joe Burrow. Like Max was saying,
Yeah.
even if Jamar Chase doesn't play, it's still fucking Joe Burrow. I'm
Yep.
really just scared if he doesn't play for fantasy purposes, but might have traded a haul in him in Dynasty. Traded a haul for him in Dynasty, but um, all right, next one. Texans -2.5. Finally, a road favorite. Texans -2.5 at the Colts. Over under is 48.5.
Yeah. I know people are relatively high on the Colts. I I felt like this might have been the easiest one for me to pick in my mind, my stupid brain. I think I'm going Texans -2.5. I've kind of a streak of the favorites here, but I don't know. I just really like the Texans -2.5. Colts have to figure out, you know, AR coming back, different things going on. Pittman's awesome, but uh, I like the Texans.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little I think Houston I think when you come into the season with these high expectations that are going to be on Houston, I mean, like people are picking them to win the Super Bowl, win the AFC and everything, and I think that the sophomore slump potential for Stroud is there and all of these other factors. So I'm going to go with Colts plus 2.5. I think that, I'm looking at the over for this game, probably tasty as well. That Texans defense is not very good. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna lock in Colts plus 2.5 here.
Yeah, I don't. The Texans scare me a little bit. I think the expectations they're getting up there. I don't love the Colts either. Um, as a team, I think both teams will be. I think the Texans are the better team, but week one on the road, I'll just, you know what, I'm gonna go with the over. I don't really like the line at all. Hopefully they get some scoring going. The Texans offense is going to be good. The Colts offense should be good. Their defenses are, average. Yeah, I'll go with the over.
Yeah, I know the Texans are kind of a trendy pick this year for a lot of people to
Yeah.
go pretty deep. Um, I feel like it would be a great letdown spot if you could have a letdown spot in week one. But the only thing is, I feel like the Colts are very Texans like, where it's like second year quarterback, although A Rich is less proven than Stroud. The offense is like the weapons are a little bit worse. Both second year coaches, like Steichen arguably a better coach, but like it's close. Like I just feel like the Colts are slightly worse in every spot, and like I don't know. I like Corey said, I think the Texans just are the better team. I'm just gonna bet who I think is the better team, even if they are on the road. So, um, this one's another fucking disgusting one. Vikings -1.5 at the Giants. 41.5 is
Oh,
the number.
Vikings
that's
minus one
so
and a half, and I
gross.
have really no reason other than that. Just the Giants have been the hardest fucking team to watch, even over the pan. Like I don't know. It might be a stretch to say that I like to watch the Panthers more than the Giants last year, but like when Saquon's hurt, there's not an exciting person on that team. So I'm going Vikings -1.5. Sam Darnold come back and light up the scoreboard. I mean, it's only one. Like, how often do you get 1.5 points in the NFL? So
Yeah,
What is that? Wait, what does that mean? How often do you get 1.5 points?
it's like you never get. It's like well, not necessarily college. Like
Oh,
college
like
football, you get
essentially a pick 'em, you mean?
yeah. Like
Oh, okay.
I mean, you'll rarely see like a three possession spread, but you also rarely see inside of like 2.5 points. So I don't know. I like it.
yeah, I saw this line and I initially thought it was a typo on the website I was looking at. I don't understand why the Vikings are favored in this game. Just because it's on the road, I'm gonna take the Giants money line. I see it's even right now, odds for it. Um, I mean, Vegas usually gives what 2.5 points to a home team, so they're essentially saying that the Vikings are 4 points better than the Giants, and I don't see that right now with Sam Darnold at quarterback. I feel like there's just a lot of question marks there, and I think that the Giants. I don't know. I mean, it's just a little home cooking there. So I'm taking the Giants money line at even odds.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this game's fucking gross. I'll be sitting on my couch Sunday. I'll have Red Zone on. I'm gonna take the under and hope I see nothing out of this game because I don't really care. Like, this is just a gross game. I don't think either team's good at all. I think the Giants suck. I think the Vikings aren't gonna be great. They might have a little bit better of a roster, but they're not very good. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna take the under and hope I don't see anything from this game on Sunday afternoon.
I think this is a good pick for the game Red Zone forgot, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hope.
Um, I'm under kind of is a good. I might pivot. Um, I'll stick with what I suck at betting totals. I didn't bet a single total. I'm just the worst fucking at it of all time. So I'll save you, Corey, from fucking you here. Um, I'm on Giants plus 1.5. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick the home team. They both fucking suck. So I'm just fucking there you go. All right. Panthers plus 3.5 at the Saints. 41.5 also the number for this game.
I'm gonna take the under at 41.5. I hate both teams also. Not huge. I don't really think that Bryce Young's gonna turn around. I don't think that they got much better. I think the Saints are pretty boring now. And yeah, under 41.5. It just feels like a lot for both teams to score 21 points. More than
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm actually going to take another underdog here, and I'm going to take the Panthers money line plus 175. I have it at. I actually do think Bryce Young has a chance to kind of take a jump. I think he got a really raw deal with who is it? Frank Reich last year as his head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they put some good weapons around him now, and I think that in combination with the fact that I think Saints fans just hate Derek Carr, and there's a chance the Saints
Yeah.
come out and go 3-and-out or throw a pick on that first drive, and they're hearing the boos, and Panthers come down and score on them, and it just I feel like there's a chance, there's an avenue here for the Panthers to win this one, so I'm going to take plus 175 money line for them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Panthers too. I don't feel as confident they'll win, but I'll take the points. I don't think the Saints don't scare me at all. But like, yeah, I think they were in such a bad situation last year. Bryce Young, he had nothing. Maybe that rookie, Xavier Legit. How do you say it? How do you say his
I think
name?
it's
I don't think he
legit.
can pronounce his own name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
but they got some weapons. They tried to get some weapons. I guess we'll see, but yeah, I'll take the Panthers and the points.
Yeah, I'm also on the Panthers plus 3.5. I do think they're pretty bad. They've gotten better at receiver though, like gotten Bryce Young a couple more weapons. Our boy Deontay Johnson, or maybe not our boy
Yeah,
anymore. I don't know how we feel about
I
him.
like him. Still my boy.
I think he's still my boy too.
He's my boy too.
Yeah.
Um, and like you said, Xavier, throw up the X. I think the Saints might be sneaky very bad though. I think Dennis Allen's going to get fired for sure this year. Although maybe he just doesn't. Maybe the Saints are just perpetually 6-11. Did you just drop your
Drew
phone?
Brees.
Yeah. Yep.
We went through the
Didn't hit
spin
the
cycle
ground
there
though.
for a second.
Did not hit the ground.
Um, but yeah, I also have I have the Panthers on an outright win watch. I think there's always like one or two that everyone acts like is a huge head scratcher week one, or that is a huge head scratcher. I think people might act like this is it, even though I don't think it's crazy to say that the Panthers could win this game. So yeah, I'm riding. And then our last game of the 1 o'clock slate, Cardinals plus 6.5 at the Bills. 48.5 is the over under. Eric.
um, I hate this one too. I mean, Bills are gonna win. I'm taking them minus 6.5. A touchdown in week one is tough. Um, I guess it's not the largest spread that I took, but the other one was against the Patriots, so whatever. But I mean, the Bills are nasty. They're kind of one of the teams that I don't really equate them to the Texans because I think the Texans, people's hype about them is more like the Lions, like the first year that they started to get good. But the Bills every year, same things, like can't win the big one situation. But I mean, they beat the shit out of teams that they're supposed to beat the shit out of usually. So I like them -6.5 in week one here.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the over on this game. I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch. I'm like it's two teams who I'm really excited to watch both of their rookies, like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Keon Coleman. And two very fun quarterbacks, just fun offenses, and I think they're going to put up a lot of points. So I have it at 48 and a half. I don't know what you had it at,
Yep,
but
48 and a half.
yeah, 48 and a half. I'm taking the over here.
I like that. Isn't Milano out too for their defense? Like that's a big one. They got
Think
Poyers
so.
in Miami now, so
Yeah, I think 6.5's a lot of points. I think the Bills are good. I don't think they're as good as were last year. I think the Cardinals are a little better than they are last year, or than they were last year. I don't think they were all that bad once they got Kyler back. They were feisty. They could hang in it. They could score some points. So I like them to keep it close. This could also be shot by the second quarter. So we'll see. But I like the Cardinals to keep it in the number.
Dude, the Cardinals are a backdoor cover king, though. You're forgetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm also on the Cardinals +6.5. I think that everybody is very used to the Bills being good. I still think they are good, but they got like remember when they just did a fire sale of their entire roster like a month after the season. Um, I like James Cook and Dalton Kincaid, but they're like Keon Coleman's a rookie. Like those two are probably going to be your entire offense along with Josh Allen. So I don't know. I actually think this is going to be my big head scratcher. I think the Cardinals are sneaky live for a money line win here. Um,
That
yeah. So I'm on Cards +6.5 here.
to be fair, I would
I
never
think
take this. I would have teased it.
I
Really
think
nice thing.
I think the Bills will be good. I think it might just take them some time to get that offense rolling with no
Yeah, it's good we play
Diggs.
in week two.
Yeah, I think it's going to be take them some time, but I think they'll get rolling later in the year.
I think they'll win by like 4,
Yeah.
which is a cover. Eric, you picked the wrong game. All right. Late window. We got two 405s, two 425s. The first one at 405, Raiders +3 at the Chargers, over under 40.5. Might be the lowest number of the week.
Yeah,
Tied for you.
still one of the delusional ones, thinking that like just liking the Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson's a big reason for that. They're always my number two team since I was a kid, and I just want to believe in them being good. I know they lost some people, um, and I guess they're not really that exciting on offense anymore. But I think I have them -3, which now that I'm looking at it even more, it just feels it's like one of those two name brand games or new name brand teams in a game that you don't realize is that disgusting until you actually start thinking about it. This one's just as disgusting as the Titans Bears game in my mind. So, but I go Chargers -3.
Yeah, I think, man, I don't. This is essentially a home game for the Raiders. It's being played in LA, but the amount of Raiders fans that are going to travel for this is going to be a lot. I think I'm gonna take Raiders +3. I think the Chargers are still gonna win this game, but it just feels like when you have a Jim Harbaugh team and who's the quarterback now in Vegas is it O'Connell. It just
Oh,
feels like
Minshew,
Gardner Minshew starting week
Gardner
Minshew's
one.
fun.
Minshew, like you're kind of signing up for some funky shit, and I think that this is going to be a really close game. So I'm gonna go with Raiders +3 here.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers, I think. I don't necessarily love it, but I like Justin Herbert better than Gardner Minshew, and I like Harbaugh better than Antonio Pierce. I don't really have any reason other than that. I think the Chargers are gonna be able to run the ball pretty well, so I'll take the points. What are they
I
-3? That's what you said, -3?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I had the Raiders +3. I felt really good about it until you said Justin Herbert versus Gardner Minshew, and now it kind of scares me. I'm gonna just stick
That's
with it.
it. That's all my
Still
reasoning.
doesn't
Yeah,
he have like a thumb issue or something still, kind of though?
I think
Or
he
is
had
it
a
yeah.
foot?
foot, but I got a notification that he said it's fine, like 15 minutes ago. So I don't know.
They're
um,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah. I just I think this is just a bad roster still for the Chargers. Like I do think they get instantly better with Harbaugh and Herbert's good, but it's just like Eric said, this is like dig into what this roster is. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's not great.
The Raiders flirted with 500 last year too. Like I think like Antonio Pierce, I don't think he's the best coach in the league, but for what they have right now, it works. Like the culture is like I feel like going in the right direction. Um, and Loki, I feel like everybody's saying Gardner Minshew that's a negative, which he's definitely not a star, but I feel like he's been pretty good everywhere. He hasn't been terrible anywhere, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been terrible, but he's also never been the week one starter, I don't think.
Yeah.
Did he start for the Colts?
He's got that
Yeah, you're
backup
right.
mojo.
The
That's
most
true.
exciting player on the Chargers, the running backs are Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. It's just the
Yeah.
Ravens junkyard, and then Lad McConkey, which I would like to coin the nickname Lad McHonky. I think that will do well. I think that's good for merch. I think that would be a fun one. Good for the brand. And then I mean the Raiders, it's like a guy off. Like you think like they have Brock Bowers. That'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
And Devontae Adams.
And what's his name? The
But
Notre Dame guy's there too.
May or Meyer.
Matt Mayer, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
name a
Yeah.
bunch of fun white guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
guess
watching Big
guess
Ten
who else
football
is
essentially over in Los Angeles.
who might be third string quarterback for them.
For the
Very
Raiders?
near and dear to Lewis's heart.
Oh, Nate Peterman, right?
Yeah.
Peterman.
Yeah.
John
But
Gruden lives on.
yeah,
Yeah.
that game's
Uh,
disgusting.
all right. Other 405 game, Broncos +5.5 at Seahawks. Numbers 41
Ugh.
and a half. Yeah, Ugg is right.
This one's also gross. It feels like
Audible
This might be the
sigh.
worst. This might be the
yeah,
worst one.
it would be the worst, and rightly so. I picked I picked over 41 and a half. I think it's going to be an absolute shit show, like all over the field, but I think that'll just lead to points probably. Um, it's kind of weird thinking about both of these teams. Just in my head wants to tell me like good defense, and that'd be like a low scoring game. But I think I don't know. I think they'll come out and kind of light it up against each other, and it'll be like super sloppy the whole time. But what's his
It'll
name's
either
a
be a
gainer.
points explosion or 0 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually like the Broncos a lot this year. I think they sneaky were like what, one game under 500 last year with Russell Wilson. Like, Sean Payton's a pretty good head coach. He's probably a top 5 head coach in the league right now. Like, dude knows how to win football games. I think it'll be tough to win on the road with Bo Nix. Um, in Seattle, but I think 6 or 5.5. I have it at 6 here, but 5.5 points still. It's a lot of points for a Seahawks team that I think is very middle of the pack. I think both these teams are very evenly matched, and I think that they should be able to cover that 5.5 spread, especially division game as well. Actually, no, this isn't a division game. AFC NFC. Never mind.
Nice
Um.
analysis.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite. I really don't like the Broncos, and that's mostly because I'm a big Bo Nix hater. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he was that good in college until he turned 24 or whatever he is.
Yeah, he's like AARP eligible now.
Yeah. I don't really like him. I don't like him going on the road to Seattle. Um, so I'll take the Seahawks and the point or the 5.5.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks are average. I just don't really trust Bo Nix game one in Seattle. Seattle's not an easy place to play.
That's a good point. Point in
Yeah.
the favor of the pick I'm about to make. I'm also going Seahawks -5.5. These teams are both so just fucking whatever to me, but makes me think that I should just take the points, but the Seahawks are one of those teams that I'm always fucking wrong on. So if I think that they definitely are not going to cover, then they definitely are. I'm going to fade myself and take the Seahawks minus 5.5 to come for a full circle moment there. All right. 425. I feel like this has to be the Fox America's Game of the Week. Cowboys plus 2.5 at the Browns. 40.5 is the number.
I think I'm going to flip from what I originally planned. I think I'm going to go under 40.5, which sucks to watch a game thinking that I'll come under that. But two top half defenses, one being probably in the top 8-ish Cowboys. Browns are good, and then also just like kind of the offensive woes that both teams see. Now, like I know that sometimes they can blow up and go nuts, but I feel like I like week one defensive battle. Dak's having some issues with the organization. CD was having issues with the organization. Um, and then Deshaun Watson just is what Deshaun Watson is now, which is super sad to see because it's like, well, bad guy.
I don't
A
know if it's
rapist?
that
Bad
Is
guy.
that
sad to
what?
see. It's
Football
kind of fucking
specific.
sick to
Sad to
see,
see football
actually.
specific. Hey, he's still playing. Um, it's like a Mike Vick situation. He was fun to watch. He was out of the league for a couple of years.
This
Came
hole is
back and was
totally getting
not
shallow.
quite the same. Not exactly the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Over
Deshaun
40 and a
Watson
half.
is a multi-time rapist. Let's just get that out there right now.
Allegedly.
He is
He
not
just
Very
tried
alleged.
to
settled.
He is a
Settlement.
rapist.
he just tried to toss 40. We were all talking about it. He just tried to say 40 and under 40.5 and just walk away. Homer Simpson meme back into the hedge.
Or yeah, under 40 and a half.
I'm taking the Cowboys in this one plus 2.5. I think contract year Dak playing for a lot of money next year. Like Eric said, it is not sad to see Deshaun Watson is a shell of himself at this point. Um, he sucks. I think this Browns team, you can't miss on. Well, they haven't even missed on them. You can't go this long without having a first round draft pick and be a good football team still. Whether it's missing on them, whether it's they just haven't had them for this Deshaun Watson draft or the trade. I think that this year the Browns are really going to fall off a cliff here. They've been kind of hanging on for a little bit. I think this is the year where the bottom falls out and they kind of have to regroup and see how they can move on from the Deshaun Watson trade. And I think it starts with week one. Dallas likes to put up points in the first week as well. So Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5 and probably Dallas Cowboys money line as well if you're feeling extra frisky.
Yeah, I think I like the 2.5 as well. For the Cowboys, I also like the money line. The Browns are a bunch of pieces of shit. Sorry ass organization. Deshaun Watson is horrible. They have no Nick Chubb because his knee exploded last year. Myles Garrett, I'm sure he'll almost get to Dak a bunch of times, which will be super exciting when he almost gets there, but I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough in the tank. I like the Cowboys here. I like them to put up some points. The Browns suck. Deshaun Watson's he's a rapist. He's a bad guy. He's a bad, bad, bad guy.
Much better football player than he is a person.
Yeah,
Yep.
better football player than a person for sure.
That's not a high bar.
Got to be able to compartmentalize.
I'm scared because other people are on this, but I think this is a rat fucking line. Like I don't know how the Cowboys aren't favored in this game.
It
I know
is a
they're
rat
not.
line,
I
yeah.
know they're not at home, and like the Browns are fine, but I mean the Cowboys were the number 2 seed in the NFC last year. Didn't they win like 13 fucking games? And like
Cowboys are very good in the regular
they
season.
return a lot of the offense. Pretty much everybody that matters on the offense. Jerome Ford is fine, but I don't know if they can really run it how they want to. Like everyone already said, Deshaun Watson is fucking broken. And like Corey alluded to, Myles Garrett's the most overrated player in the entire league. So
That's fucking right.
it's gonna be crazy when there's like a 3rd and 5 and he's just right in Dak's face and he's already won his pass rush. But it turns out that they're still going to convert that key 3rd down and keep driving down the field. So
this comes down to the wire at the end of the year in terms of our betting records. it's gonna be so fucking easy to try to bet against the two of you because it's just any
Yeah,
AFC
yeah,
AFC North team that's not in Western Pennsylvania.
that's very true. Yeah,
That's not totally true. I'm kind of on the Bengals. The Bengals, for some reason,
I think the Bengals are good.
even when we kind of beef with them, I'm typically fine with taking them. The Ravens are just always like, I feel like anytime the Ravens are kind of good, everyone's like, ooh, like mid 2000s, like the Ravens are a good franchise, and like they are a good franchise overall, but I feel like they are a perpetually overrated team, as are the Browns. The Browns,
Yeah,
it's like, hey, they're not 0-16, so everyone just acts like they're fucking good. It's like, no, 7-10, fucking book it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep.
in Q3 of the season last year, beginning of Q4, they were highly like the Ravens. Every single person was saying like, "That's my that's my dark horse like Super Bowl winner," because they try to be edgy against the Chiefs. But I don't know. I didn't really see it. I do like Lamar though, but I think he'd just be
I
a super
don't.
fun. I think he'd be a super
He's
fun player to
selfish.
have on your team.
Actually, no. Actually, I like Lamar. I think he's beat the Steelers once as the starting quarterback in his
Yeah.
career, which is crazy to say, but we're his daddy, so I have
That
no
is
real problem with him.
that is
I hate
impressive
him less than
somehow.
I hated fucking Kyle Bowler. You know, definitely less than I hated Joe Flacco, that's for sure. I don't
Yeah.
mind. He can come run around fucking Acrisure Stadium and lose 17-10 again. I don't really care.
Not a real
Yeah.
fan if you don't still call it Heinz.
I almost did,
I
but I
agree.
was trying to be correct.
Three Rivers, brother.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
One of my, the neighbor of one of my friends in college they came over and threatened to file a noise complaint after I was screaming about how ass Lamar Jackson was, and it was before a 4th and 5 that was the entire game against the Steelers once that he of course didn't convert.
You
So
He's a
remember
tough
that
man.
2-point conversion when they were down one with like 12 seconds left? He
yeah,
just missed
that was
Mark
really fucking
Andrews, who
smart. Yep,
had nobody around him.
he
Oh,
was wide
That
the
was
fuck
so
open.
awesome. My soul left my body and came back within the half second. What a fucking running back he is.
He was, yeah, it was like the play was developing. I was like, motherfuck, no fucking way we
Yeah,
lose on this. And as soon
yeah.
as the ball left his hand, I was like, oh fuck, this was awesome for us. I love this play call.
you just have a less good version on your bench waiting to become a
That's
peacock and
right.
waiting for the
Yeah.
team to let him fly.
But he got
Hey,
traded for a 6th round pick. People don't think he's the MVP of the fucking league.
Did you know?
yeah.
Two
Did you
Guy
know
couldn't
that?
beat
times.
guy couldn't beat fucking Kenny Pickett. I'm not worried about the Ravens coming to Pittsburgh.
This is it's not football related, but because I mentioned peacocks, I got an alert the other day that the police. If you hear gunshots, don't be worried. The police are coming through and exterminating peacocks. Running rampant through.
Cannot be the best way to exterminate peacocks.
Is
Shooting
there a
them.
Peacock game this week? Because that has to be an omen.
It should be. I don't know.
I
Sunday
think
night football.
Friday.
Sunday night football is NBC. So
There you
Peacock.
go.
Eric, whatever
What's the
you were
game?
gonna
What's the
bet, it
Friday
has to
game
be the
on?
other. I think the
well,
Friday game is technically a Thursday night football game,
Ah,
but I
okay.
don't know who the fuck the crew's gonna be because there's no way you're
I hope
getting Al
it's Kirk
Michaels to prep
Herbstreit.
for 2 games.
I hope it's Kirk.
I
He's
think
my
they're gonna have
favorite,
the Ravens Chiefs.
even as an Ohio State guy.
Actually, no, because they always do an NFL Network. Well, that might be the same crew though. I don't fucking know. All
Who's
right.
your favorite crew?
Um,
Anybody else?
who's
Immediate come to
your
mind.
I
is yours
think
Herbie and Al? Eric?
Mine's Herbie and Al Michaels. I think I don't
I
know.
feel like Al
I like
Michaels has
Herbie. He
lost his
always picks
passion.
Penn State and stuff, and because he's not fucking Desmond Howard's. I hate Desmond Howard. He's such a piece of shit. Michigan homer, and it's like not like it's almost like how like we could do the job that he does because he just is delusional about his own team, but and that's on like I don't know that could fly with like Barstool stuff, but I feel like those actual prime networks are weird like that, but.
Yeah,
I liked the old Monday Night Football booth, or Sunday night, yeah, the Collinsworth and Al Michaels, because that just means we were like beating the Ravens or the Bengals that night, and it was
yeah.
sick. Yeah,
That was just my dad constantly bitching about how Collinsworth is anti-Steelers while he's just
yeah.
glazing the fuck out of us the entire game.
always had a soft spot for Joe Buck when it comes to football.
Yeah,
Buck and Aikman, when it comes to baseball, not as much, but Buck
He's
and
got a big
Aikman,
game
like,
voice.
the
he does have a big game
425
voice.
slate, like something about watching the Cowboys and hearing Buck and Aikman jerk off Tony Romo or Dak Prescott or whoever the fuck their quarterback is that year, just soothing. And they took
I
it over.
actually, this I don't think it'll be a popular pick at all. I kind of like Tarico and Collinsworth. I
I
feel
like
like
Tariq.
Mike Tirico, he's a
He's a
good like,
pedophile.
yeah, he is a pedophile.
Yeah, Google that.
Um,
Google that, folks at home. Google Mike Tirico controversy.
I just
Better or
think that
worse than
he is like, he has he his voice inflection is like top tier. And Collinsworth is just like Collinsworth at this point is
You're
kind
the
of
guy.
like a drunk uncle to me. Like he's what Tony Romo's trying to be when he's just like
Yeah,
I don't know, Jim. It's just like that's Collinsworth being like whoa, like you know how he does that shit. Maybe nobody else picks up on that. I don't know.
I kind of some in a similar token. When I was watching the Penn State game, I know we'll get to that. But Joel Klatt at one point was just talking, and he just is like, and to the sideline, and like screams in like this weird inflection, and then there's just like a 8 yard out route. And I was like, he wanted this to be the kick six moment, just like up the sideline situation. But I think sometimes they get too pumped. But I like him. I like him though. I know it's not NFL, but
Nobody said Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
I'm
Makes you
out.
no,
think.
No, this
no,
moment's
of
past.
course not.
I don't think they're the worst just because I like Jim Nance.
The
Yeah, I do
worst is going
too.
to be
But
Brady.
Romo was cool his first year when he like clearly was trying and he like actually knew what he was talking about the whole time. I noticed it was either last year or 2 years ago. He was like doing his like, oh, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do this, and then none of it fucking happened. The whole goddamn game. I was like, what? Yeah, so
And
I'm out on Romo.
that also just comes down to these days like, do you want to be watching a Chiefs game? Because they get every fucking Chiefs game.
Yeah, they
Every
do.
405 CBS fucking Chiefs. All right. Also, yeah, I think Mag said it. Do you guys think Brady will be good?
Well, so Brady has to abide by the owner's like laws because he's the partial owner of the Raiders. I don't know if you guys knew about this.
He
He
can't like prep, right?
he can't. So yeah, he can't attend team practices because that he's a competing owner. He's not allowed to criticize officials at all without being fined by the league. So if they make a
Oh, no.
Oh
bad
my
call, he just has
God.
to be like, "Oh, cool." He's not like the reason why Tony Romo is able to predict these plays before they happen is because he is in practice watching them and being like, "Yep, they practiced that fake punt or they practiced this stretch play or whatever." But Tom Brady isn't going to be able to do that, and Tom Brady has the personality of like wet paper towels. Like I think it's going to be a bust, and Greg, third
Justice
leg
for
Greg, got
Greg.
screwed out of that spot.
Justice for Greg. He's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is good. He
All
is
right.
good.
Let's get back on track here, boys. Sunday late slate. Commanders plus 3.5 at the Buccaneers. Eric.
Oh,
I think the Bucks are gonna be better than people think. It's not like a fun pick, and I'm trying not to let outside sources influence me on the Commanders doing any better this year. So I'm just gonna go Bucks minus 3.5. I think Baker Mayfield's just a very okay. He might be the okayest quarterback in the league. Um, so I like 3.5 points with Bucks.
yeah, I'm with you. 3.5 for the Bucks sounds good. I mean, just say their offense is, I think, sneaky, like a top 10 ish, top 15 offense. They've got some weapons over there, so I think that they should be able to cover that pretty easily.
yeah, I don't like either of these teams. I think the Bucks are average, and I think the Commanders are. I'm not betting on them until I see what Jaden Daniels is a little more. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think they still got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, um, Rashad. What's his last name? Rashad White. Rashad
White.
White. Like their offense, they have weapons. I think they'll be able to score. So I'll take 3.5.
Yeah, I'm scared, but this is a clean sweep. I'm also taking the Bucks. I feel like people forget that they're just a pretty solid team. Like they aren't flashy
Yeah.
anywhere, but like this is a game where like if people are like the Bucks are solely pick the Bucks like based on who they're playing. Like if people are hot on who they're playing, bet the Bucks. If people think the team that they're playing sucks, bet against the Bucks because they're just like return water like to its level. Like they're gonna be like 8-9, 9-8, super average, and that's gonna be that. All right, Sunday night football. Rams +3 at the Lions, 51.5. Big number.
Yeah, it feels good to finally not take a favorite. Got my MVP in LA, Matt Stafford. I got the Rams +3.5. Um, I like the Lions. They're a fun team to root for, and I'll always root for them against teams that I don't like or people that I don't like or whatever. But I feel like they're very good, but I also think everybody acts like they're incredible every year now. Like for the last whatever year, 2, 3 years. It just feels like every single season going in, they're like, oh, they might really be like the team that comes out of the NFC. Like they're probably the best team in the NFC, blah blah blah. And like we just act like the 49ers don't exist. Um, because it's not as fun to talk about them. So I like Rams +3.5.
I'm going to say the exact opposite of everything Eric just said there. I like the Detroit Lions to win the NFC this year. And I think if they're going to win the NFC this year, I also think they're the 1 seed in the NFC this year. And in order to be that, they win games like this. So I have them -3.5 at home in Ford Field with Stafford coming back. So it's going to be loud. I saw his drain bramaged wife already isn't coming to the game because she didn't like how she was treated last year. So I like Detroit in this one. I just think they're much better. I think they're better coached. I think they're more talented. I think that Detroit's going to have a really big year, and it starts with this game.
Did you say that wrong on purpose?
Yeah, because it like
Okay.
I was wondering that. I probably did.
I got it. I just all right. Sorry.
yeah.
Is it 3 or 3.5?
Three and a
Three and a
half.
half.
3.5. Okay, I think I like the Rams at 3.5. I think the Lions. I think the Lions are really good. I think people are really high on them, like Mags. Um, I think they're gonna take. I don't know if they're gonna take a step forward. Maybe not a step back, but um, I just like the Rams here. 3.5 points. I think they keep it within that. Um, Stafford's good. They have, the wide receiving core is good. Kyron Williams. They got weapons on offense. I think they can score with them. I like the over too. It's such a high number. It makes me want to just fucking go for it. But yeah, I'll take the Rams.
I'm also on the Rams +3.5. I think they're becoming a kind of trendy pick. I didn't realize how on the Rams everybody was until like the last week or so. But I just like, yes, the Lions explosive offense, but the Rams are just like better coached, and I think people forget how good Stafford is. I know he's kind of getting up there in age, but I think if he stays healthy, he's like a great just veteran distributor, going to do everything right. The offense is going to run with very minimal hiccups. So I like the Rams to keep it to a field goal. And our last game of the week, Monday Night Football. Jets making their return to Monday Night Football. Another Monday Night Football debut for them. So that might be a little scary for Jets fans considering what happened last week. But it's Jets +4.5 at the Niners. Over under is 43.5.
Uh, this one was hard for me to pick because quick, half-second test, you're like, oh, 49ers and whatever they give you. But I love Aaron Rodgers. I think he's like a total gamer. I mean, both good defenses. 43.5. I probably like the under at 43.5. I think I did flip because I originally wrote down the over here, but I'm just thinking about Niners like to run the ball or run time off the clock. Good defense, both sides of the ball. And Rodgers getting back into it, so it might be taking a little bit easy just having the ghost stories from last year. So under.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Jets +4.5 here. Um, I just think that you know, the Super Bowl hangover is a very real thing. And I think that, the 49ers have a chance to really implode this year. And losing like a week one game like this would kind of kickstart that narrative a little bit. And yeah, I think that between all the holdouts that the Niners have been having this offseason, just doesn't look good for them coming into this year, even though they are still very talented. So I'm taking Jets plus 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets too. 4.5 is a lot of points. Their defense was so good last year. Like, despite having to deal with Zach Wilson and whoever else on the other side of it, their defense was awesome. I think they can. I don't know how I feel about Rodgers yet. I need to see him play. I just, he's getting up there. He's awesome, but I just need to see him play. Both them teams had a lot going on this offseason. Aaron Rodgers he just likes to say shit, man. So I'm going with the Jets and the Jets and the 4.5. Hopefully they keep it close Monday night, but two good defenses.
Yeah. So I'm on the Niners minus 4.5. I get that the Jets have a very good defense. They got Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers getting healthy, right? I get all that. I also get Niners dysfunction, Ayuk, Trent Williams holdout. They're getting a little older. I'm also kind of down on them overall. All of that said, if you just look at the two names of the teams, if I'm wrong, I'm fine. I'll take it under advisement. If Rodgers is good again and the defense pops, then all right. This is a new New York Football Jets. This is the Rex Ryan Jets might be back. But there will be nothing that makes me feel stupider than if I wake up on Tuesday morning after having bet on the Jets and the Niners just shoved it up their dick and won by like 20. I will be like, it's just one of those that like, I told you so to myself. And I can't accept that.
It's a sleep at night pick.
Right. Yeah, I already struggle to get to sleep at night, so I can't be keeping myself up. So I'm going Jets plus 4.5. Or no, I'm not. Fuck. Oh my god. Is that a sign? I'm going Niners minus 4.5.
Yeah.
Niners minus 4.5. All right, everyone. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the podcast. However you're listening right now, we appreciate it. We do have a YouTube where we've got the video version of this. It is Picks and Parleys. That's Parleys, Parleys. It's in the title of whatever you're watching right now. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you are listening to just the audio. And check out some of our socials. We got at Picks and Parleys on TikTok, at Picks and Parleys on Twitter, and at Picks and Parleys on Instagram. Going to be getting a little more active on Twitter as the season rolls around. I'm sure this Saturday and Sunday we're going to be letting it fly on there. So appreciate everybody for tuning in this week, and we will see you all next time.